roads twisting hard where the shadows lie. Grip the handle, feel the engines roar. Freedom ain't a dream, it's the open door. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Night's a beast, it devours the weak. Steel and fire, the language I speak. Dust in my lungs, wind in my face. Speed's my temple, this road's my grace. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Ain't no cage that can hold me down. No leash, no chains, no goddamn crown. I'm a rebel.
Well, hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome back here to the NASRA 360 Racing Network, and welcome in to the StarBase Comics 200 here from the DSR Electric Truck Series. We're racing here tonight at Michigan International Speedway and looking forward to a fantastic night of racing action. My name is Ron Mons. Wesley Atlin will be here in the commentary booth in just a few moments. Dean Biggles is working on the cameras and the graphics in the virtual production hall. A bit of a quick pre-race show here, so we're about to get things up and rolling here for what's going to be the first race of the in-season tournament here in this championship. So we got a lot of stuff to worry about as we get through this round and also get closer and closer to the start of the playoffs beginning in the brand new year, the final month of the year, the final month of this regular season. Lots of stuff to play for, and we're expecting to have a whole lot of fun here tonight. But everything taken care of, I think we should probably take a look at that starting grid in just a couple of moments' time and let you all know how we will line up for this race. Andrew Harris is going to start from the pole. Adam Newton will join him on the front row. Going to be Roger Diebold starting this race in third, next to Brian Chu in fourth. Cole Larson will start this race in P5 in the Larson Esports number 20 machine. Jason Morales will start alongside him, completing row number 3. Brandy LaBouffe will start this race in P7. Alongside him will be Aaron Van Rolante. And then looking right behind, rounding at your top 10 is going to be Adam Newbert alongside Matt Cherry. Dane Hagan will start this race in P11. Jonathan Cofield, multi-time race winner from this season, will line up alongside him in P12. P13, lucky spot P13 will be Shane Scott alongside Kerry Trabu. It's got to be Tyler Dittmer alongside James Kaufman, Luke Smith in P17, Raul Meza in P18, Chris Blanchard in P19. Alongside him will be Craig Schroeder. It's got to be Jeffrey Johnson in P21, Joshua Sush in P22, Tyler Goodwin in 23rd, Taylor Peacock in 24th, and then looking through, we still got Payne Johnson in 25th, Cody Knott in 26th, Chris Cinnamon in P27, JD Larson in 28th, and Timothy Hammond in 29th. Robert Richards starts this race in 30th. Right behind will be Chad Ross alongside Colton Hogan. It's got to be Ryan Dillavow starting this race in 33rd. Alongside him will be Buzzy Mongol. Shane Trotter will start this race in 35th. Alongside him will be Steve Barnett in P36. And then I believe that will round out your field here for this race. Looking through the race information, got that stuff to run through here. Stage breaks got to come at lap number 20 and lap 45. 100 total laps, 4 tire sets allotted for these racers. I'll have to get confirmation whether or not that includes the tires that they start on, but no matter the case, we have got a good race to look forward to here. That in-season tournament gonna be important to keep our eyes on throughout this race. And my first time covering this series as well, having to hold down the fort here for a couple of moments before our old pal Wesley comes here into the booth. This is gonna be a heck of a lot of fun. Michigan always puts on some good racing. Doesn't matter what kind of car you're in, it's always going to be fun. As an IndyCar guy, I adore this track just based on some of the wonderful events that happened here over the years when IndyCar used to run here. Now it's NASCAR only, but even then, it's still a pretty darn good track, and also features a road course, strangely enough, which I don't think too many people know about. However, we're about to get things up and rolling from this race. It's going to be a good one. Getting into that in-season bracket, getting closer to those playoffs. Everybody looks to have a good race here, but only one driver will be able to visit victory lane. We got a stacked front row, and let's get things up and rolling for the 13th race of this season with that green flag out. The drivers are now on their way, and we're racing today at Michigan. Looking like a pretty cool start for everybody as they head their way through turns number 1 and 2. Everybody wants a lead lap 1 here at Michigan. One man can do it. Everybody makes their way through the first 2 turns clean. It's Andrew Harris holding on to that top spot, but we may have a battle here going on soon as you got Adam Noon all around him like a bear rug. Let's see how these drivers got to fan out like a Diebold and Shoe going side by side. That's a battle for third at the present moment, and let's see who's going to hold on to this spot. We ride on board looking from behind on Andrew Harris's number 87 car. Got the Blanchard's logo on the back of that machine. Currently holding on to that lead. He leads the first lap under green, but he's still got the challenge from Newton in that number 19 truck. Side by side downtown for 1 and 2. Who's going to win out in this fight? Got to keep the momentum on the outside. Will Noon, will he be able to make it work? Adam Noon has already had a pretty darn good season up to this point. 3 wins. He's been very fast. Let's see if he can keep that pace rolling here at Michigan. He's now jumping into the race lead, but he got Chu right behind. He got Harris on his inside, still side by side as they head their way out of 4 to begin yet another lap. Look at everybody else fanning out 3 and nearly 4 wide farther behind as the top 6 have broken out to a nice little pack.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks very much for stepping in as well too, Ron, for, I believe, at the moment, Jacob's birthday. So happy birthday to Jacob out there. If he's listening, hopefully he probably won't be. He's just going to take his time away, spend it with the family that he has at the moment. Wesley will be joining us soon too. Ron, well, welcome to DSR Electra. As you can see, green flag running at the moment. We've got a couple of stages. It's good to go. They're right up there, aren't they?
Yeah, we've got some fantastic racing already. I love to see it in the early stages. Everybody already feeling a little bit racy as we get farther along in this race, closer and closer to that end of the stage. These drivers aren't focused about that green-white checkered yet. They're still focused on that green flag that came out a few moments ago. Everybody's feeling really antsy, wants to get off to a good start. Make hay while the sun is shining here in the rolling Irish hills of Michigan. Roger Diebold, we run on board with him in that number 14 truck, heading his way side by side down that back straightaway. That number 51 truck of Chu has gone off to a pretty good start in his own right, holding steady on that top side. Second of the trucks on the top end of the circuit. As we look at some of the Hoopers and Shakers, Trotter already up 4 spots from where they started in this race. Johnson up now 7 as the side-by-side racing goes on. Look at that. That is madness. That looks like a formation lap instead of green flag running. That is awesome to see already here, Dean.
It's some fantastic running, yeah, exactly. Brendan LeBoff as well too, the boss man. He's up at the moment, 2 places. Most of the drivers, and Steve Bartlett as well, Barnett, sorry, he's up 12 places in P24, but most of these drivers are pretty much around even Stevens of where they started this race as a shuffle around another lap to go. We've still got 96, believe it or not, but we do have to get the lap 20 for a caution, which will be a mandatory caution for our first stage break.
Yeah, still have a lot of racing action left to roll here from this race. We are just barely a quarter of the way through the first stage, so we can't focus too much on the end. We've got a lot of racing action between then and now. In the meantime, though, I can bring in my colleague, Mr. Wesley Atlan, joining me now in the broadcast booth. Wesley, you've missed out on a pretty hectic start. We haven't had any drama thus far, but we have had some fantastic and really close racing.
Apologies for running a little bit behind. I had a basketball radio broadcast to do, and little minutes behind schedule. I was hoping I could have made it before 9 o'clock, but nonetheless, thank you, Ron. And we are ready to roll with our coverage of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series, coming off of the heels of a successful trouble. We got trouble now. Wesley shows up and a caution comes out. Wrong messy. Go figure.
Oh, and that's going to be a huge hit into the inside wall there. That is unfortunate for him. That I think it all started as they came across the line, and then things just snowballed out of control from there.
Yeah, man. If you're just joining us as well on the radio, we just come back with our coverage of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. It's the StarBase Comics 200, and the caution is out. Just about a handful of laps into this one here, as Raul Meza watch that 37 truck. Looks like he got a shot from somebody there. It looks like it ought to be Jeffrey Johnson. And it is Jeffrey Johnson. And around goes the 37, spinning on the bottom of the apron. And we go into the yellow flag. Wow.
Oh, and that
there we go.
Hit into the inside tire barrier. That is so sickening to take a look at. I gotta say, though, the fact that that car didn't spear back up onto the apron and collect a couple more trucks, I think that's a very good call indeed. I think Raul Meza was really sawing at that steering wheel to try and keep it going in a straight line. But, you know, hey, it worked out well for him. I mean, it didn't work out too well for him. It could have been a heck of a lot worse. That already was, though. I think that was just a round of bumper cars as they headed their way through the tri-oval there. Everybody just being and banging and roughing each other up in the early stages, and there's only so much you can do in the midst of a big pack like that.
Yeah, we got lucky there, as it's only a one truck incident, so caution out here in the early going, and obviously a yellow flag coming out after a incident there with Raul Meza, a couple of other trucks spinning down on the bottom of the apron. So we'll get ready to try to re-rack them, restack them, and go again. Thanks for joining us for our coverage. Of course, Ron Mons, and I'm Wesley Outland. Ron made his debut at NASRA on Friday night with the coverage of the NASRA King of Talladega. Congratulations to Daniel Falkingham, my friend out of Jonesport, Maine, picking up the victory. And needless to say, Daniel, winning that race was not easy. It was quite eventful, Ron, on Friday night. What a successful show it was for sure.
Oh, that was an absolute honor to be a part of. That race was fantastic, and I think we only used 2 of the green-white checkered attempts, which I didn't gloat about at the time, but I called that. I said that we were only going to use 2 of the 3 green-white checkers, even though we technically had a third. The first one was just under natural green-white checkered conditions, 2 laps left to go in regulation of the 188 laps that we started with in that event. But yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic race. I really enjoyed being a part of that show, and happy to be a part of this one as well. It's been a little while since I actually commentated a race on a Monday night. There was a series that I covered. People familiar with iRacing will probably remember the old Precision Racing League, and I had the privilege of covering that for a couple of seasons, and sadly that series decided to take an indefinite hiatus. The series admin decided to take a step back, kind of focus on their own personal lives, and it's been a little bit of a vacancy in my schedule for a little bit, but happy to be working again on a Monday night.
Well, I appreciate you stepping in and filling in for our buddy, Mr. Jacob Reeves. He's celebrating his birthday today, so I want to give a big hello and a happy birthday to our buddy, Jacob Reeves. Much love to him. He's celebrating his birthday, and he said I just need to have a break. I need to have a day off for after a busy week. So we said, well, it's your birthday. I mean, I worked on my birthday. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm trying to think now. Have I?
Very true. My son is, he wanted to spend time with his son, and it's all good. So happy birthday to the redneck announcer, everybody.
Yeah, happy birthday to him. I need to send him my happy birthday messages. I haven't gotten the opportunity to do that because the only messages him and I have sent to each other was just talking about. And funnily enough, it was actually when you came into the booth for that race, Wesley, when we were kind of figuring out how to do that holdover and all that stuff to bring it into the booth. So I'll have to send him a happy birthday message here real quick, and I'll also have to look back to see whether or not I worked on my birthday last year. Coming up to my birthday here soon. I'm not going to say it because I don't really like saying when my birthday is publicly. But coming up to my 21st in a matter of a couple of weeks, and it was funny. I was talking with a series admin for a series that I cover on Sunday nights over on another network, and they said, "Man, I'm not sure if you'll be able to do that show because you'll be hungover on your 21st," which I will say will not happen because I do not drink, but I do appreciate that concern regardless.
Hey, is your Facebook account, you want a go-kart, a number 2, giving a thumbs high, thumbs up?
I haven't been able to access my Facebook account in years. I'll have to actually take a look to figure out when that is. Fun
Never
fact,
mind.
I actually started my Facebook account when I think I was 8 when I started that, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, well, I was trying to find you and give you a friend request, but I guess we'll just be friends on the world of Discord. So let's go back to green, though.
Green flag racing here at Michigan. It's been a flyer of a race already, and now we're halfway through this first stage. Time flies when we're having fun. Noon still holding on to that top spot, overchewing that number 51 truck, I should say. Keep an eye on that number 51 truck throughout this race because he's had some pretty eventful moments already. He's been getting experimental in terms of trying to find any way in the book to get past in what has been a truly frantic race thus far.
It surely is, man, as we watch him work back around the racetrack again here. Adam Newton, by the way, showing the opportunity to lead here at Michigan. This race, 200 miles, 100 laps. This is a 2-mile racetrack, and at one time, it used to be one of the fastest tracks in NASRA. Newton, Harris, Chu, LaBeouf, and Diebold, your top 5, and there's Larson trying to get into the battle on the back straightaway.
Yeah, now looking at the side-by-side battling going on once again. These drivers packed in like sardines as they head their way down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. That's going to be a fight to keep our eyes on there, nearly fanning out 3 wide in the battle for the final 2 spots inside the top 5. LaBeouf and Diebold still going to keep it side-by-side. Adam Noon holding on to that top spot currently. Now, we have seen a whole litany of different race winners up to this point in the championship, entering race number 13. Now, for those who may have triskaidekaphobia, which is a fear of the number 13, you may be a little bit nervous about this race, but I don't think Adam Noon is. Looking through some of the results that we've had thus far this season, already has 3 wins, the last of them coming at Martinsville for round number 10.
Look out, LaBeouf contact, Diebold inside. They spin, they save. We stay green. Brady LaBeouf, season 2 champion on the binders there, and the shark jaws Roger Diebold scampers away from that. Here's a replay. My goodness.
And
This
that
could have been some big trouble.
Yeah, that very similar to what we saw for the first incident to bring the first yellow out. Could have very easily ended and more drivers getting caught up. There's the contact.
Wow.
The 2 cars kind of linked together there for a brief period of time. So the iRacing blue kind of working to full effect there. That could have ended in tears so much worse than it already did, though.
Nonetheless, we'll stay green as the leaders work their way back around with Newton in front, but he's got some crazy 2 trucks running him down. Harris and Chu looking at Newton as they go back into the corner into 1. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the side-by-side battling still going on, and now with that yellow in these drivers' rear-view mirrors, they kind of need to focus on the end of this stage to figure out how well they can set themselves up for the rest of this 100-lap-long race. Newton's still holding on to that top spot, but Harris is right in tow. One driver that I think we need to keep our eyes on, I need to actually see whether or not he is running in this race or not, is your Auto Club winner, Stephen Thomas. Won that race in round number 3, and even though that track has sadly gone the way of the Dodo Bird, it is the closest equal to Michigan in the racing world, and certainly on iRacing for sure, as the Texas World Speedway was similar to this track, but that was never scanned, and that track is unfortunately now been down. Meanwhile, we still have some side-by-side battling firmly in the top 10. Looking at that fight going on, I believe that's Cofield and Larson. Yes, it is.
Yeah, look at that battle there. Yes, sir. down to the inside as we now see Jonathan Cofield coming off of the NASRA King of Talladega, wrecked out in the late going, took his chances away. Cole Larson up on the high side. You're on board with him in the bottom right, the red-green number 20. And Dean his weekend was ruined also for the Mumford, Alabama man that likes the Auburn Tigers. Alabama won the Iron Bowl. So look at this three wide contact.
No.
Look out. Oh, no. Hagan, Tyler Dittmer, Cherry, other trucks spinning back straight away. Caution out again. Unbelievable.
Oh, and Hagan nearly blew it over, too. That was a wild collision, but it was kind of expected when they headed their way onto the back straightaway with 4 wide racing. It was going to end in tears eventually. This track may be on the bigger end, but you do eventually run out of real estate space here as we take a look at a replay to see what caused it.
Watch this again. We're 3 wide. That's Hagan, Dan Hagan. Hagan into Dittmer. And then is that Cofield? Yes, it is. Cofield into Dittmer as well. And then Cole Larson and Cherry and the 7 of Kerry Tribune. I mean, take your pick. Just looked like it was bumper cars from there, Ron.
Yeah, as I kind of said at the time, it was a matter of time before something like that was going to take place. As I said, this track is a bit on the wider end compared to some of the tracks that we've been, certainly a lot wider than the other race that we had at the Chicago Street Course just a matter of a week ago. But this track is still really, really tricky because that room that may seem like it's endless can run out very quickly, and it is exactly what happened there. Is look at that truck picking up in the air. That we nearly saw a driver get all 4 up off the deck.
On board with Matt Cherry there as he goes around Dittmer 2. Cole Larson up against the fence, and the number 10 with a T-bone shot as well as that driver got collected in it too. That's the driver of the number 10 of Jason Morales from California. My goodness. We need to pause quickly for station identification. This is coverage of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series on CRN.
This is the Community Radio Network, WCRN, 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Smithfield, North Carolina. Proud to be in the USA. We are CRN.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Well, we thank you for joining us. Of course, whether you're watching on the NASRA 360 Racing Network or listening on the CRN after basketball, we have coverage of this event. Ron Motts filling in for my buddy, the birthday boy, Mr. Jacob Reeves, always Bigglestein Hopton on production. December 1st. Can you believe it? 2025. The last month of the year. Cannot believe how fast this year's gone by. Hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. The series was off this past, if you will, Monday. This previous Monday because of observance of the NASRA King of Talladega. And Gal, get ready for the King of Daytona. That big event coming up on, of course, January the 4th through the 10th. If you don't know those dates, January 4th through the 10th. That is starting on a Sunday, January the 4th, all the way to Saturday the 10th of the following week. So there is the details and the information, and get signed up. Had 200 cars for that race last year, Ron.
I mean, honestly, getting the opportunity to cover the Talladega race a little bit earlier on this week was absolutely fantastic, and the field in that was insane. And expecting more of the same as we get off into 2026. I want to touch on this, though. Adam Newton has walked away with the Stage 1 win here. The Clarksville, Virginia driver in the number 19 truck was able to hold on to that top spot throughout a decent chunk of that first stage, and was able to bring it home under the second yellow of this race here tonight for the 13th race of this season. Expecting a lot of fun as we get off into the second stage now. A little bit on the longer end.
Let's bring him in here really quickly. Adam Newton, it's the booth, buddy. Congratulations on another stage win. You're leading the point standings. You got the most wins of anybody for swim. What a great year you're having in the 19.
Yeah, it's a fantastic year. We got all our teammates here tonight. It's been a good night already.
What a good solid drive, man. How different is this track being, obviously, taking a week off after Talladega and getting ready to get back to the points racing side of things, if you will?
It's a huge difference from the Dega stuff, but it's still slick, so it ought to be a fun race.
All right, there's the thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, of our Stage 1 winner. Appreciate your time, buddy. That is one of the Chrome drivers, Ron, and that is Adam Newton. As you see, he's got a, 20-point lead over Luke Smith. He's got the most wins of anybody this year. What a phenomenal season for the man there from Danville, Virginia. Pace truck is in, ready to come back to the restart zone. Green flag will wave. We now move into Glass Mechanic. Stage number 2. Hey, Dean, break some glass. Break some glass, Dean. Break glass. And we're back underway here, Ron.
See, I will try and make up for the glass not being able to be broken in the production truck, but my glass is full of water, and the other glasses I have are on my face, so I don't think either of those would be good options. Looking at side-by-side racing, look at that pack of frantic trucks careening their way down into turn number 3 and 4. Newton still looking to drive away as we have a yellow farther in the back. That's a big stack them up through 4.
And we do. Cole Larson now up against the fence. J.D. Larson earlier, now J.D. Larson's crashed. Cole Larson crashed earlier. This is J.D. Larson and some other drivers getting to it off of turn 4. I don't know what happened, Ron. That happened so quickly. Come on,
it happened a little bit farther behind here. So we'll follow J.D. Larson and his perspective in it all in the number 98 truck as he headed his way down the back straightaway. Has 2 trucks side by side right in front of him. A little bit of overlap. And he drifts up into the truck right on the top side. That's a 33 truck involved in that incident. They come to blows, and in the ensuing stack up, about 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks get collected in that. Here at Michigan with these NASCAR truck machines, it may not be the fastest track in the world. It may not be like Daytona, but my oh my, when something happens, you could have a big one, much like Daytona.
Caution out here. It's, we'll set up and look at a replay of it again here. Oh, my goodness. Watch this. That's J.D. Larson on the inside. Jeffrey Johnson again involved in something here. Johnson and Larson, and look at all these other guys. Nowhere to go. Chris Cinnamon.
Oh, don't tell me. I was a little bit worried there.
No, that's Larson. That's J.D. and Cole Larson, guys. The Larson family there.
Yeah, both of the Larsons getting caught up in that. That is a shame for those two. A shame for everybody involved in the early incidents here. That's the 3rd incident that we've had in this race, and that's the 2nd one in a row that we've had heading off through that section of the racetrack as well. It started with a bit of drama as they had their way onto the back straightaway, then migrated into the entry of turn 3. Now it's heading off through turn number 3, so I have a feeling that turn 4 may be a bit of a trouble spot for these racers in the not too far off future. In the meantime, though, we do have some drivers come down pit lane. Raul Meza, the latest among with many other racers who decide not to come down pit lane at the end of stage 1.
Raul Meza, by the way, there he is getting service. Raul Meza, career start number 470 tonight. By the way, we just spoke to Adam Newton. Adam Newton, career start number 463. Those are your 2 drivers of NASRA that have the most starts of anybody. There's your look at your race recap so far. 5 lead changes, 3 Serve Pro cautions for 8 laps. By the way, I want to say thank you to Serve Pro for sponsoring the King of Talladega festivity race last Friday. And, of course, they sponsor our caution. And we are under the yellow flag, top 5. Adam Newton, Brian Chu, Shane Scott, Adam Newbert, Luke Smith right now. 4 Toyotas, 1 Chevrolet in the top 5 as it stands right now. We want to say thank you also to StarBase Comics, as we want to thank that sponsor. Let's thank StarBase Comics, sponsoring Michigan. We're back in a moment. Stay with us. Just getting started.
StarBase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. StarBase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Welcome you back to coverage of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series at Michigan StarBase Comics 200. Leslie Outland here with you, Ron Barnes. And we are getting ready to come back to the green flag. Adam Newton, Brian Chu on the front row. Still a long way to go. This is Glass Mechanic stage number 2, and we are back underway. Green flag. By the way, only 75 to go. Only completed a quarter. Only a quarter of this race so far completed, Ron.
Yeah, the pace has been a little bit slow. You know, we've been having a good race up to this point, though. Outside the few incidents that we have had thus far, these racers have been giving us one heck of a race to talk about already. The top 4 single filing out for the first time in quite some time. In fact, but as I say that, the side-by-side racing going to continue. This time it's Smith and Scott, the 27 and the 21 trucks duking out side-by-side. And now keeping an eye on the number 9 of Blanchard. He's now going to try and give us a fight right behind. It's himself and Johnson going side by side. He's going to make it 3 wide with Scott as they head their way down into turn number 1. These racers are giving us one heck of a fight here in Michigan early.
Yeah, what a fun battle we're watching. As they'll work their way again off the corner. Here they come out of turn number 2 to the back straightaway. Adam Newton in the lead. For how long, though? Brian Chu, the Holodaddy, is right on his back door from Fort Myers, Florida. And there he is, right there. A couple of swim drivers, Chrome Racing, part of swim, and they are teammates. And you see them working with one another. There goes Adam Newbert, by the way. Adam Newbert from Toccoa, Georgia. The inaugural series champion for season 1, up now to 3rd.
A lot of drivers just scything their way through the field right now. Delaveau in the number 11 truck up 23 spots from where he started in this race. Everybody up towards the front has been pretty much in the same spot that they started in. I'm looking through, is there anybody in the entirety of this field that is in the exact same spot that they started in? There are a few. Richard's a little bit farther behind. I believe Hofield has shooken out to be in the exact same spot that he started in, slotted in 12th at the moment in that 58 truck. But Michigan has proved to be a bit of a silent menace already in this race. When you think of Michigan, you think of fast racing, and when you think of fast racing, you think of close racing, and in the close racing, sometimes things have boiled over already.
And Newton right now just kind of patiently holding on to that spot. Look at now Blanchard up on the high side. Blanchard now opens the door to Scott Johnson. All in this mix. Here they come. Working off the corner out of turn number 4. Back to the tri-oval. Man, how about Luke Smith? He's changed his colors. And he is donning StarBase Comics for tonight's break.
Scheme as well. That I like that. Yeah, one thing I love always talking about on the broadcast that I do as a driver just got really wiggly up there on the top side, a little bit farther in the back of shot. Not sure who that was. They scraped the fence. They nearly ended up looping it about 17 times, but had the reflexes of a ninja to keep that car going in a straight line. Anyways, getting back to the point that I was raising, some of the paint schemes we've got out here on the racetrack, absolutely fantastic. If you're tuning into this broadcast here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, you're able to see some of them. If you are tuning in, have to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the racing action, because we've got some great stuff here.
Down the back straightaway, and we got a caution. Oh, another yellow flag. Yellow flag is out. I'm not sure what happened. It happened in the back here. Robert Richards from Gastonia in trouble. Yellow flag out for him with now 70 laps to go. Robert Richards, the 455th career start for Richards, off the pace, and then all of a sudden it triggered the caution. Unless there's something we're missing here, Ron, and I think he's the cause of the yellow.
Yeah, see, I was going to ask whether or not it was a matter of him getting sent off the racetrack by maybe a little bit of contact, maybe just got a bit wiggly. That car's already not looking too good. As let's listen in here. Could have been out of gas, potentially. Yeah, you can hear just... That car is pretty much bone quiet. Yeah, so I think we've had our driver run out of gas. That is...
Oh. Yeah, he's out of fuel. No, he's out of fuel.
He's out of gas.
Gas is out. He's gone. There's no power to the engine there. Unless he did something that we don't. I mean, we're missing something.
I gotta wonder what led him to running out of gas in the first place, because I mean we've had enough yellows whereby unless he pulled off some sort of wacky strategy, yeah, probably definitely didn't come down pit lane. But was there a reason why he hadn't come down pit lane? Was he trying to make something work here? Huh. I wonder if he didn't take fuel in that stop, maybe misclicked a button, or I will say a lot of iRacers nowadays do have the opportunity to run software that automatically fuels the car on their behalf. And I've covered many a race where drivers have run software like that, and the software has actually gotten the numbers slightly flubbed. So I wonder if that could have been it. Maybe just with too much reliance on that software, and the software proved him wrong. The computers bite back.
Well, there's only one way to find out, and I'm not afraid to ask him. So let's get the thoughts of Robert Richards and kind of get his idea of what happened on the number 48. The man that's got third on the all-time starting list. So the man out of Gastonia. Robert, what happened on the 48, man? Did you run out of fuel?
No, I've lost all connection to my pedals, and I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
So it's you just electrical issue, internet issue, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the pedals just quit working. Luckily, I was in a spot to where I wasn't in the way.
Wow.
The steering wheel works, but the pedals don't. So.
Oh yeah, well that'll do it. That'll do it. Well, thanks for your time, buddy. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
That's a tough break. And by the way, I want to say thank you also for working on race director for the King of Talladega. I know that was a different amount of work, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a blast. It was a lot of fun though. A lot of learning, a lot of meeting new people, and hopefully we're going to do more of it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's Robert Richards, ladies and gentlemen. And there you see, Ron. There you go. I mean, he lost power. What do? Nothing you can do.
That is so unfortunate. You know, that's the first time that I think I've seen somebody have their pedals just blatantly disconnect. Wesley, have you ever seen a driver with their wheel when their entire system disconnects, pedals, wheel, everything? It is a funny spectacle because you'll just see them go to full lock in one direction, full on the gas, on the brakes, on the clutch, 3 feet into it at the same time. I've seen that happen on road courses. It's an unfortunate spectacle, obviously, because drivers who have put so much effort in end up getting struck by that falling anvil. But it also is slightly funny to see that go on as well.
I gotta ask you, does I do gotta ask you, does a cat attacking you while you're iRacing, does that count?
Yeah, we can count that. I haven't seen that myself.
So there's a series that I announced for. Matter of fact, I do it again tonight. It's the Northwest Series. They're based out of the Pacific Northwest. And there were a couple of years ago during the COVID year, guy by the name of James Vining, and actually now call him the Catman because of it. And it was ironically at Michigan. I can't make this up. Michigan, 2020, summer COVID, Catman, leading the race, James Vining. The cat, no, the cat attacked him. His cat attacked him. He said that his cat kept grabbing his leg. I think he wanted food or water or whatever, and he didn't acknowledge him. Well, the next thing you know, he's racing on the track, and the cat attacked him. Well, this caused Vining's car to just rapidly shoot into the wall, like you said, out of nowhere. So, yeah.
Green flag, green flag.
Yeah. We got broadcast before December the 22nd. We'll mention you before then. Back other way. I have no idea who B Squared is.
Yeah,
back other way here with Brian Chu now leading the way. Brian Chu and Blanchard. Smith will follow. By the way, we were talking about Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog. He's got some beautiful cars, the STP colors. Look at that. That's a Richard Petty throwback, if you will.
Yeah, that is a darn good looking race car with a reddish orange. That is absolutely fantastic. And look at that, 3 wide. There are actually 3 wide, 2 rows back, a 6-pack of trucks as they head their way down into turn number 1. Who's going to win out in that top fight? Looks like it may go the way of Smith. There's contact going on right behind. I think that's going to send Suss up into the wall. The number 80 truck keeps it going in a straight line, but he got shown the door big time as they headed their way down that start-finish stretch into turn number 1. He avoided any major contact with any cars, but that was still not an ideal series of events. He's lost out some time, some places, and has fallen outside the top 10 as a result.
3 wide, Blanchard up the middle. He's got to push with Hogan. That's the John Deere green number 5, by the way. All this going off 3 wide again. Wow. Just stay in line, baby. Stay in line, and somehow they do. Look at that Willin and Dylan going on over there as they work into the corner. I love it.
I think a lot of people are, I think they're having a fun time here at Michigan. We'll have to have a chat with some of these racers once we get to the end of this race when everything is said and done and ask them whether or not they had a good time here. I know I'm having a good time seeing this side-by-side racing. It's slightly terrifying seeing drivers go side-by-side at what feels like Mach 5 in a NASCAR truck here. And look at that. That is insane. 8 trucks pretty much bumper to bumper, 4 rows back with side-by-side as contact being made as they head their way out of turn number 2. That was a 58, running into the back of 9 of Blanchard. So that was Cofield and Blanchard coming to blows. They kept it going in a straight line, but that could very easily have been a big stack of up.
Yeah, that could have. Look at them going 3 and 4 wide, multiple lanes around this place, man. Oh, no. Cofield around. Cofield in trouble. Caution out. Cofield in trouble in the grass out of 4. Caution is out. It might be a 1-truck accident. Wow.
And big stack up. Once again, I mean, we saw it coming out of turn number 2 a little bit earlier on in this race, didn't we, Wesley, when drivers were going 4 wide and it just ended in tears there. Once again, it's a corner exit that proves to be a choke point. This time it's coming out of turn number 4 onto that start-finish straightaway, which may be curved, but it can still be a choke point, and there was a contact. Jonathan Cofield got clobbered, and that truck got a little bit of airtime.
Wow. Yeah, another look at it again. Man. Well, that's frustrating. Here's a look at it again from another angle. Watch this. Wow, look at the contact. I think it's Hillbilly Steve Barnett into Cofield. And around he went. Wow.
Easy to have that happen coming out of these corners. It's such a choke point. Everybody runs different lines here at Michigan. You can do that around this track because it is so wide, but in the same sense that you can have good racing, you can have some very easy coming together just as a result of those drivers merging into one. It's like merging onto the highway. You got to build up that speed and try and find the right way to zip her in.
Yeah, whatever he said, animal something. That's all I know. Yeah. Yeah. Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. You're horrible, Dean. We're taking a break, everybody. We got pit stops on going, and we're our.
I'm just here.
He's got me choking up. We're back in a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back. Ron Mons and Wesley Outland here with you. Jacob Reeves, the birthday boy, off tonight. Like I said, Dean. Yeah, can we cue it up? Can we cue it up? Yeah, I got beef. Where's the sound effects? Oh, he does all right.
I could maybe do like an impression of it, or at least yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, here you go. Here we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there you go. School's in session. We got beef, okay? There you go. Well, don't you remember that we had the Wesley's NASRA birthday bash on my birthday at Phoenix in the Cup Series? Hey, by the way, quick reminder, the NASRA Cup Series is off on Wednesday, this Wednesday. They come back next week. Yeah, we're off. Yeah, we're off this Wednesday. So aren't you glad I remind you of everything in your life? Why? We're off. I'll be like, oh, wow. Yeah, they changed the date, didn't they? The Prosper Engineering Endurance Series has been changed. The date's been changed to now January the 20th. All right. Coming back to green. Let's do it again. We're, by the way, closing in on halfway. 5 to go in stage number 2. Glass Mechanic. So you see Robert Richards pulling onto the racetrack, but notice that he's got to stay, Ron, on that blend line. Oh, I heard glass break. You have to stay on that blend line. You cannot pull onto the racetrack until you get up on the back straightaway there, Ron, or you'll be penalized. You'll get penalty.
Yeah, I know. My time running this track, just in test sessions on iRacing, I've been popped for many an unsafe pit exit here. Such a fine line on that apron, which is practically non-existent. It's a small little asphalt strip that they have as a small little escape chute. It's like whenever you're driving down a highway that's under construction and the shoulder is just like 3 feet wide, that's pretty much all you've got here. I mean, compare the width of that apron to the rest of the racetrack. It is a night and day difference. It's like comparing the size of a dragonfly to the size of a hawk.
Ah. Great Scott, Shane Scott. He wants an autograph. Yeah, by the way, we are off. We're off. We had the Atlanta race a few weeks ago, but we're off this upcoming Wednesday night. We were off this previous Wednesday for the NASRA Cup Series because of the King of Talladega special. We are off this Friday. We were off this Wednesday. Coming up, we're off. We come back on the 10th as we got a caution. We got trouble.
Whoa!
Trucks are scattering. Hogan involved. Dittmer around. Kerry Tribune. Another multi-truck accident and the caution out of turn 2 is out.
And everybody's scattering around like a herd of cats in a room full of rocking chairs. Let's take a look at this. See what happened. I think it was about 3 separate incidents that really went down here. So there's a lot of different replays for us to load up here. We'll start by taking a look at this with the number 7 contact made as they head their way off through turn number 2. First time we've seen contact heading off through 1 and 2, but that was big. Small little tap. That 7 truck gets so sideways. 3 drivers get collected in that. That 21 truck nearly ended up leaving the track entirely, and the scattering a little bit farther behind. Actually, it was a 5 truck spinning around there. So that is a big moment involving the 5. That I believe, unless I'm very much mistaken right there, was Colton Hogan. He actually won the season opening race at Daytona back in August. Things not going well for him here in Michigan as he went the opposite direction, literally.
Here's a look at it again. Oh my goodness, there's the contact. Wow, big trouble there. And that's Hogan in the 5. Somebody, he got into the fence with somebody there.
Trying to figure out exactly all the trucks involved in this. It's been a hectic start here at Michigan, and I think that incident just about proved it, how close quarters of racing is and how quickly things can go from running smooth and running fine to running not smooth and running not fine. You can see the puffs of smoke farther up the road. There's that truck sledgehammer shot into the outside fence, and as more trucks try and scatter farther up the road, the 4 truck may have had a slight bit of drama in all of that. He's actually worked out fine in all of that, so I believe there's another 4 truck. There's the other 4 truck involved in all of that. 2 4s combined for an 8, but they're split by each other, so we'll mark that up to trading paints being a little bit interesting. Oh, that was a hit. That was a hit for all of them.
And that certainly was unbelievable.
So we got some pit stops going on here. This is going to be fun. Now that we are getting closer and closer to that halfway mark of this race as well, have we, I'm trying to think of exactly how far along we are into that. I think we've gotten the stage taken care of. Are we fully done with stage number 2? I think we're certainly getting close to it. Yeah,
so we are. And listen, and here's the thing, Ron. We actually finished the stage under caution, but what they do is they actually finish it under the lap, whatever it is. So this is the official lap that it's on. It's the last lap now. So once they finish this lap, here he comes to the line. This will be stage number 2. And Peyton Johnson will be awarded the stage. But again, you know, like, you know what? A prime example, if you saw how they done the King of Talladega, if there was a caution before, or 5 before, 5 after, then, you know, they would say that's the stage and we'd go back to racing. Well, that's not what they do with the series. In the series, whatever the lap is for the stage, that's the lap for the stage. And obviously, Peyton Johnson has won it. So, lights off on the pace truck. We'll get ready to go back for green here. So, are they showing Shane Scott as the stage 2 winner?
I think Shane Scott is out of this race. I think the graphic was a little bit stuck there.
Yeah.
At the WD-40. Shane Scott, he's out of it. How in the world has he dropped out of this race? Was he collected in that? Yeah, he was collected in that incident. Memory failing me at the worst time. He was a driver that nearly ended up outside of it. He nearly ballparked it. If that truck was a little bit farther up in the air and that catch fence wasn't there, we probably would have seen a driver end up in the parking lot. That was actually the replay of the incident a little bit earlier on in this race as a spot heading out of turn number 4. But yeah, Shane Scott was the driver that got clobbered in that 3-car stack up against a fence. We're about to get this race back up and rolling here and get the final stage rolling, Wesley. Let's get up and rocking.
This is the final stage. Let's rock and roll. Back on our way, ready to settle it with over 55 laps to go, 54 remaining actually, and this is the 3rd stage of the race.
I think something may have just happened here with Chris Blanchard in the number 9 truck. He's losing out on a boatload of time. Look at how slow he is on the inside. In the meantime, though, we got a side-by-side battle between the 15 and the 14. That right there is Johnson and Diebold duking it out, making side-to-side contact as well. So Payne Johnson in that 15 Chevy and Roger Diebold in that 14 Ford looking to have the battle of the American Motor Supremacy. Who's going to win out here in the Motor City?
Look at Hammond up the outside. Timothy Hammond of the 69. Watch him as they work their way back into the corner again. Unbelievable.
Every single time I see these drivers go 3 wide around this racetrack, when they're coming out the turns, I always get an odd feeling sense of anxiety. It's like, I can't even say it's like my bones are sitting in vinegar, which would be uncomfortable enough as is. I feel like I'm actively being electrocuted when I see these racers come out of the turns as close as they are. Oh, and that's why. Oh, and we have a flipper nearly. That's the 87 up in the air.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Come on. Another yellow, 7th one of the night, just before halfway. Problems on the back straightaway here in Michigan. Oh. Wow, here's a replay.
Oh, and they were nearly 4 wide on corner entry. Right as I was talking about the corner exits, I knew something was going to go on because it was really starting to get dicey up at the front. And it all started maybe with a bad bump, certainly with a sideways snap, the 51 into the 87. Those 2 drivers were battling for the race lead a bit earlier on, but as quickly things were going well for them, things can quickly go bad, and that went pretty bad.
Yeah, Brian Chew and Harris, Newton, oh my goodness, Harris on his lid, he bicycles on the back straightaway. Oh, no. Oh, well. That's it.
And that's a shame for the both of them. They were run so strong earlier on. They have a couple of race wins between those drivers as well. And that's going to throw a wrench into the works when it comes to the in-season bracket that does start here at Michigan. So I'll have to keep tabs on that throughout the next 4 weeks of this DSR Electric Truck Series. But that's pretty big with some top running drivers early and struck by some falling anvils late. Oh!
Unbelievable.
Golly. Look at Shane Truck.
Another caution. Wow, I'm telling you.
To see, trying to reel it back to show Shane Scott's perspective in the drama that brought out, not this last yellow, but the yellow before. There was that truck sideways, and oh, you know what that gives me flashbacks to, Wesley? That gives me flashbacks to Ryan Preece's crash at Talladega a couple of years ago when he T-boned Kyle Larson.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's... Ryan Priest went through some hellacious flips in Daytona for a couple of years too, in the fall event and not the fall, the summer, and then the 500 last year. Man, I can't believe it. I was literally talking with somebody yesterday. We're 70 days till the start of the season again for NASCAR. Not to count Daytona, but the Bowman Gray Stadium. The clash at the stadium again on February the 1st. I mean, you think about it. That's what, 60 days from now? Because today's December the 1st.
Yeah, I love Bowman Gray Stadium. I think a lot of people first got learned. Dean saying in the production truck that's a second in Australia. Yes, it is a second in Australia. We also have the water in the toilet go the other way compared to all of y'all down in Australia. That was an odd comeback.
Where did that come from?
I hear that they use outhouses in Australia.
Where did that come from? I mean, but just whatever. The toilet flushes differently in Australia. I mean, you drive differently. You drive on your car steering wheel's on the right-hand side instead of the left. You drive on the right side of the highway.
Air travel's actually different there because of
now,
how
us as Americans, we drive on the left side. Yeah, I mean,
I wonder if in the air they fly on the other side of the air. Now that makes you think.
We need to pause for station identification as we're heading to the top of the hour. If you're listening on the radio, the shenanigans of the NASRA DSR electric truck series. We're back in a moment.
This is the Community Radio Network, WCRN, 87.9 FM, Clayton, Connor, Smithfield, North Carolina. Proud to be in the USA. We are CRN.
Bill back inside the restart zone. The green flag flies, and we are under 50 to go. Back here at Michigan in the StarBase 50-52 Comics. 200, the 100 miles are gone, and Ron, I'll tell you what, I think we're going to see a crazy second half. The first half has been widely entertaining, but I think it's going to get more wilder.
Yeah, it's been hectic already in this race. Lots of moments of trouble for the racers up and down the running order. Fantastic side-by-side racing all throughout, but sometimes that racing has ended in disaster. These racers have got to be focused on that very end as we still have the side-by-side battling going on. Riding on board with Payne Johnson in that number 15 truck slotted in second. He's got Diebold right on the inside of him as they head their way side-by-side. Coming out of turn number 2 right now. But yeah, this is going to be a very hectic end to this race. We've got some pit stops maybe to worry about a little bit later on here. But with the amount of yellows that we have, I feel like they will not be green flag stops.
A lot of caution flags. We had, 7 or 8 cautions so far in the first half of the race. And StarBase Comics 200 is now down to the second half. Uh-oh. Watch it, guys. Oh, man. That's Kaufman and Hammond. They were really loose there for a minute. The yellow and the red truck, and somehow they got through.
Yeah, that could have ended in disaster as they negotiated turns number 1 and 2. They're still side by side, though. Even though these racers have seen the drama go on thus far, they aren't relenting. And, this is actually with the weather bug on our graphics right now here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network and our coverage of tonight's race here on YouTube. Looking at the track temperature, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, which is rather cool. That's about as cold as it gets on iRacing. They only mark it as mid-60s is, I believe, as low as you can get on iRacing for track temperatures. So that is quite chilly. 68, that could be part of the reason why these racers are having the struggles that they are.
Something to really consider, and it's really different than what last week we had 140, 135 degrees for track temp in Talladega. How wild was that? Look at Raw Mesa coming up the outside of Buzzy Mongold. Buzzy, smile. Buzzy. Yeah, I think he's like, what in the world was that guy doing to me? Yeah, there's your sensor button. Sensor.
Sensor bleep. Oh, that. Oh, no! And the 69 blows over, heading down the backstretch and slams into the inside wall.
Not just Raw Mesa, not just Timothy Hammond getting on his lid. Also, it looked like Luke Smith got collected and some other trucks as well. Caution out for the 8th time. Oh, boy. Well. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And sadly, that cookie, I think, crumbled directly into some of these drivers' eyes here. So let's take a look. There was the contact. I think those two cars kind of got stuck together and bang, up in the air. Contact being made. Timothy Hammond in that 69 car again turned on his lid. That's the first driver we've seen fully go upside down, although we have seen many get up in the air. Saw some drivers a bit earlier on pick up one or two wheels. That's the first driver that we've seen go fully over.
Somebody said COD. Is that abbreviated for Call of Duty? I have no future. I'm sorry. Yeah, remember I told you Hammond got upside down and Luke Smith got a piece of it too.
He blew up his motor in the process. That's the thing about iRacing. Sometimes if you have enough of a frontal impact, you're going to kill that motor.
And, by the way, Ron, before that happened, I told you keep an eye on that yellow truck and the red truck and the Hammond and the blue truck there. Remember, they were really squirmy a couple of laps ago before that took place.
Yeah, I don't think there is a good driving truck in the entirety of this field. I think there's only a least terrible. And as we were riding on board with that number 27 truck of Luke Smith, it looked like he actually got a little bit of air as he headed his way off into the wall. It looked like that truck was starting to lift when he just sledgehammer shot into that safer barrier. That was a monumental impact for him, so that's going to take him out of contention. Not sure what the other fast repair deal is here in this series. If there is none, he's probably going to be out of this race. If there are some fast repairs, though, he may be able to rejoin. Otherwise, any sort of blown motor, iRacing sometimes can actually repair it. I remember one time I did a broadcast. It was the Jimmy Broadbent iRacing charity special event a couple of weeks ago. And a driver had blown his engine up. And in the process of that, he had to be in the pits for 60 minutes to repair it.
Ron, are you B squared _ 2023 on the YouTube? Is that you?
I am not. I am.
Oh,
not.
that's somebody else then. Okay, channel, never mind then. Okay, I thought maybe I was dissing you and your birthday's coming up. I didn't know. I'm sorry. It's somebody else. It's Ron something.
Yeah, their birthday is quite close.
He said his name was Ron. He said my name was Ron. Heck yeah, y'all still got your voice after Friday. Yeah, we still have our voices. We do this for a living. Yeah, it was a very fun. Yeah, hell, I done basketball and football on the radio and this is, what a crazy one it was. By the way, speaking of the other endurance race, we got some cool things coming up for the month of January. First off, the NASRA King of Daytona. So we are no longer calling it the Great American Sim Race because I guess they're going to give the nod to the PGR Esports people and let them have the name, the PGR 500. That'll be coming up in February. We are doing our NASRA 500 King of Daytona, presented by Blanchard's Towing and Recovery. By the way, that is the second annual race. Last year we had over 210 entries. And it raised over $10,000 in 1 week alone. How about that, Ron? How crazy was that? In 1 week, 10 grand. Unbelievable. B squared is Brandon Broadfoot. Why did I think of that? I'm sorry. He's a Razor Ramon of NASRA, one of them, as well as Raw Mesa. But how about that, though, Ron, as we get ready for a restart, man, $10,000 in one week.
That is wild. I don't think I've ever seen 10 grand in my entire life, so it's pretty wild. And we're going to have a massive field of competitors for that race. It's going to be awesome to see. Of course, you'll be able to catch the other broadcast on the NASRA 360 Racing Network if you're tuning into this broadcast here on YouTube. Wesley, are you going to be there on the call for that? Will the viewers be able to catch that on CRN?
Yeah, give me 1 minute, guys. My DoorDash is getting my food. I need to go get my tacos. I'll be right back, Ron. You take us back to green, brother.
Alrighty, let's get up and rolling. Yes, 61 laps now on the board. About to get things up and rolling again in the final stage with Diebold holding on to a comfortable margin as they head their way side by side. Right behind, though, Noon and Johnson chasing each other tails up the track. Here comes Peacock in that number 81 machine. He's maybe going to try and look for it. And look at Meza. Oh, contact made between Peacock and Noon. That nearly set that number 19 truck up into the fence. But Meza, who earlier on in this race was backwards in the fence with a rear end of the car about 2 feet shorter than he started off the race with, he's been able to get back up to the front. That truck is flying at the moment as he's looked to try and keep it rolling on the outside with side-by-side racing still going on. Noon and Diebold continue to duke it out for that top spot. Noon holding onto that inside line. Diebold on the high side, nearly making contact once again as they lick the stamp and send it off into turn number 1. Peacock, meanwhile, in that number 81 truck, going to go side by side with some side-by-side battling behind as well with Johnson and Cofield. Cofield, that number 58 truck, he's always been there in this race. There haven't been many times where he's been exactly up at the front, but he's been up at the front of the field for quite some time, just not exactly in that top spot. And Noon, meanwhile, currently holding on to that top spot. He started this race in second, has been spending a vast majority of this race up inside of the top 10 and the top 5, and looks to keep that rolling with 38 laps now left to go here in this race. If you're enjoying the broadcast on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, have it hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on any of the racing action. Still some battling side by side, though, for third. It's Cofield and Johnson duking it out, squabbling up as they head their way down into 3 and 4 now. Look at Peacock right on board with him. He started this race in 24th. He's now running in second. That 81 truck, we haven't talked about too much in this race, but he is just quietly working in the background, jumping up into that spot. A fantastic run for him thus far. Is now look at Cofield. He's just jumped his way up into second. Right as I was singing the praises of Peacock, he loses out on third. Now Cofield got to look to try and give a challenge to Noon. They're side by side into turn number 1 and 2. Noon drifts up a little bit. He's going to go for the switchback, though. Dips down to the bottom. He thought about it, got close to the apron, but just wasn't able to keep it rolling. He's going to focus on the momentum game, which here at Michigan is usually the game that should be played. He dives down to the inside into turn number 3 and 4. Who's going to win out in this fight? Will it be Noon, who's been up at the top for oh so long, or will it be Cofield, who's looking to jump back into that top spot? Look at everybody squabbling right behind. We're in the danger zone now. This is usually the point in time where everybody runs into difficulties. And all the yellows that we have seen at this point, for the most part, have been around this point of the restart. A couple laps in where the drivers have everything back up into a swing of things, the tires back up to temp, and they start to feel maybe a little bit too big for their britches to improve a little bit like radio diction.
They'll make their way down the back straight away with now closing in on 35 laps to go. Yeah, Ron, thank you for letting me go get DoorDash outside. It's raining where I'm at in North Carolina, and I didn't want the guy to be stuck outside in the rain, plus much less have my food get wet as well. So thank you. So 35 to go as they come to the line. Adam Newton back up in front again. What a strong run this guy's had. He didn't win stage number 2, but he was right there in the thick of things. He's been in the thick of things all night, just like Peyton Johnson, and they're battling for the lead. Look at Cofield back up there for third.
Oh, yeah, he has had his boots on throughout. He has been in the thick of it, and now he's still got a shot to do well here in this race. 67 laps on the board here in a few moments time once they come across the line. Cofield and Noon continue to go side by side for this top spot. Look at everybody tussling behind, though. They nearly fanned out to make it 3 wide as they headed their way across the line. They are going to make it 3 wide up the front, though. Noon, Johnson, and Cofield duking it out. Where did Johnson come from? Look at the 48 going to make it 4 wide.
And look at Cofield sideways. Newton up high. There's contact. There it is. The swipe. The turn. Cofield around. Bottom of the apron. Caution out. Number 9.
Wow. You just can't run 4 wide around this racetrack for too long. It's going to end in tears eventually. So even them dabbling in it for, what was that, a matter of 15 seconds that they were going 4 wide? You're kind of asking for disaster to go on there. 48 was the last to make it 3 wide. And in that choke up, again, as I said a bit earlier on in this broadcast, here at Michigan, it's conducive at the turns for everybody running different lines to just converge into one single point. And we had the 58, I think, got all 4 up off the deck at some point in time, but didn't fully tip over like the last yellow.
Another look at it. Watch it again as they stuck it 4 wide. You're on board with the rear of the tailgate. Jonathan Cofield. There's the contact. Cofield in the middle. Johnson on the inside. On the driver's side. On the passenger side, Newton. An assist from Richard to help spin the 58. He was already going down to the apron. Man.
It goes so well for so long, that goes so badly so quickly.
Caution out. Heading towards the final 30 laps of this one. We'll step away and take a break. More from Michigan right after this as we're in stage 3.
StarBase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. StarBase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Welcome back to Talladega. Welcome back to Michigan. It's not Talladega. I'm sorry. I got the producer in my ear. Ron, do you see what we go with? Do you see what we go through? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Yes, welcome, Ron Mons.
See, I feel like I'm being initiated into a club that I have no context for. I'm just hearing a debate about land value as I'm trying to take a couple of sips of water in a commercial break here. So, I'm enjoying it here in the booth. I'm having a good time. I'm not really sure where the conversation in the commercial break went between talking about soggy tacos to land ownership and, I can't really judge, some of the stuff that I say on broadcast, and y'all will eventually learn here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. If there's anybody has the ability to spew bovine feces for an extended period of time on the air and talk about random nonsense, it is me. I have had people compliment my ability to just talk about whatever and never run out of topics.
They call that squirrel moments, man, for sure.
I am a chatterbox that comes by trade.
Yeah, by the way, there's a look at the point standings leading up to tonight's event here at Michigan, and you see Adam Newton, Luke Smith, Cofield. Anybody in yellow has won races. They clinched a playoff spot with a win. There you go. And Adam Newton just continuing to, if you will, walk the dog, if you will. Ron, there's no other way to describe it. This guy's won the races. He's had the most of the year. 3 wins this year. Kerry Tribune, he won a race, but he's outside the top 20. He's got to be in the top 20 in the points.
Yeah, you know,
there's like loopholes, right? I mean, like you can win the race, but you got to be in the top 20 in the points, and you have to run a certain amount of starts. And I think Carrie Tribune hasn't ran all of the races this year.
See, in the world of racing, loopholes are always fantastic. Unless they're legal loopholes, then you get yourself in a lot of hot water. But regardless, we got ourselves a restart to take a look at here, Wesley. Let's get back up and rolling with 30 to go.
Do it again, Carrie Tribune. Yeah, he's only got 9 starts this year compared to like the 13 of everybody else. So back to it again. And Kaufman in the lead. How about this? The yellow 25 battles now with Adam Newton on the inside. Adam Newton back in front. A couple of Florida Cabinet Distributors trucks for Slim and Chrome on the back straightaway.
Thinking that, seeing that number 25 truck of Kaufman, I think that works all over the song. We are seeing the yellow 25. That right there was terrible. I apologize. Newton and Diebold still continue to duke it out, but they're not alone. This 3-car breakaway sort of form up at the front of the field as it's not the largest gap in the world, but it's somewhat big as well, let's see as that's tracking farther behind.
Do we got a crash? I don't know if we got a crash. We just got him off the pace. We're green. We just saw smoke. My goodness, Ron, I thought we had trouble too.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a driver pile into the fence. I think there may have been contact. The driver may have gone sideways, but it didn't result in a crash, didn't result in a caution. We remain green now with 28 laps left to go here in this race. Riding on board with that, Newton still holding on to that top spot. Actually seeing him and Diebold work together as kind of pseudo teammates here. We'll have to see if that could work out well as once we get to the end, though, that sense of loyalty will go out the window. For now, though, they've still got about 25 left before they can really think about the end.
They certainly do. 25 remaining at the line. Coming up here in about another 3 seconds or so. But right now, Adam Newton is running away with it. What a strong run for the driver of the 19. There he is, right in tow, Roger Diebold. And remember, as we go 3 wide with Adam Newbert in the middle of this one with Kaufman and Mongold. Remember earlier, Mongold and Diebold and Newton about got into one, and they actually got sideways, but they didn't crash.
Whoa, that was a driver getting sideways, and thankfully they didn't crash. It is possible to save it here in these NASCAR trucks. They are kind of notorious for being a bit of a woolly handler, but if you can get a grip with it, you can work out very, very well, as we nearly had 3 drivers wrecking up in the front there, oh so close in this battle for that top spot. Newton, Diebold, and Hogan all running strong as we now run on board with Raul Meza. He's holding on to P4 at the current moment, and we'll have to see if he can maybe make up some moves here.
Yeah, stay for those spots right there. Wow. Yeah, is that the one that Jacob says he's got the Fisher-Price steering wheel? No, Raul Meza has never won in NASRA. He has the all-time starts, 470 tonight. 36 top 5s, 143 top 10s, but never a win. Never a win.
Maybe this will be the night.
He's right up there to 4th.
I think that's a good spot to be in, too. Kind of, yeah, I don't think you want to be too much in the thick of it. Right as I say that, proving me perfectly correct with Diebold and Hogan coming to blows. Contact being made. It was only a slight wiggle for that 5 truck. That could have been a heck of a lot worse. Look at that 5 truck and the comeback they've had in this race. They were involved in an incident earlier on. So if anybody knows how tricky these races can be, you've got Meza, who's involved in trouble earlier, and Hogan, who's involved in trouble earlier too.
Down the back straightaway. Oh, hold on to it, baby. There you go. This is the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. By the way, don't forget, Cup Series is off this Wednesday night. We come back with the Cox trucks on Friday. That'll be your next broadcast on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And that'll be, of course, from, I'll make sure I got all this information correct. That will be, trying to make sure I have all the stuff right.
I can sing a little ditty as you're getting the information.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at all these notes here, these stats, but I know we've got the Cup, the trucks, the Endurance next Tuesday night, Cup Series next Wednesday, and the trucks, Cops trucks next Friday as well. So, yeah,
lots of action to look forward to here on NASRA.
never stops, especially after that. And by the way, you were asking me about the King of Daytona. So here's the deal. I have a broadcast. Oh, look out! You're going to start old Roger Diamond way high. Hagen, Newbert, Mesa, everybody looking their chops to not pass him on the outside as we got now Ross on the inside as well. Unbelievable. Could have been this first from 14.
Yeah, no, side-to-side contact that really kicked it off, and I think Raul Meza breaking out the elbows. Everybody's starting to get a bit more physical up towards the front of the field, which is great to see from our perspective in the broadcast booth. Those tow truck drivers, though, they may have a slight sense of anxiety, and I think these crew chiefs may be getting ready to read the riot act to some of these racers in case they do scrape up the truck.
Oh boy, there's Diebold trying to pick up where he left off. Can he get after it again? I think he will. 3 wide behind him. Watch it again. Boy, take your pick, man. What great racing we're seeing right now. Up in the front, for that matter, too. Anybody can win this thing right now, Ron.
Yeah, I'm really not going to be ruling anybody out of getting the W here in this event. Based off the drama we've seen, 9 cautions combining for 27 laps thus far here in the 81 laps that we've completed thus far. What's to say that we don't have any more yellows between now and the very end with how close these drivers are racing with a 3 wide action right behind your leader of Newton? We could very well easily see that, as I thought we were going to have some 4 wide action. I thought that Meza was going to try and stick it 4 wide. They're still going to go 3 wide.
4 wide again. Look at this. Boy, even Adam Newton under attack. We got trouble. My goodness, Ron Mons.
Oh, yeah, that was a commentator's jinx, and that was a driver that I think just tipped it over. That's the first time that we've seen Dane Hagen get a little bit of airtime, but I think that may have been a full top over the bumper cover bouncing around. Oh my goodness, that just shot up to the moon.
To the moon, let me play among the stars. Hey, there you go. See, your brownie points just went up. You know, a little Frank Sinatra.
See,
look at this truck up in
right
smoke, man.
Yep. That was the unmistakable sound of metal snapping and engine exploding there from the 39 truck. That was a vicious hit. See, I know
that was riding with Cheech and Chong.
See, I figured it was a Cheech and Chong joke, but you know, I'd leave that there. Yeah, so let's see what brought out this yellow in the first place with the side-by-side battling going on through turn number 1 and 2. That truck on the high side, that's the number 80, spun the 39 up into the fence. Air gets underneath it. Another flipper, flipping multiple times. In fact, that was a little bit of an odd like gyro effect going on with that truck.
Oh, wow.
The bumper cover flies off. The engine blows up in the process. That bumper cover was bouncing for about 50,000 years, so I'm not sure if that's entirely legal.
Way up in the air, man. It got some hang time. That's all I could say. It came down eventually. There's that bumper when it come off from the impact, and then it flew through the air.
Maybe they filled the vinyl with helium.
Oh, well, here you go.
Golly,
man, I don't know if it's just me, Ron Mons, but man, it seems like these trucks now on iRacing can easily flip more than what they used to. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we had at least a flip count of over 20, 25 at the NASRA King of Talladega event for the entire week.
Yeah, I think there's been some stuff going on with the trucks, and of course iRacing bringing out physics update after physics update. These cars are about as light as a feather, it feels like. I mean, just with that moment with the 39 truck, like it looked like the left-hand side was farther down than the right. The right side was the one that had the air, and then even then it just got like turned like a rotisserie chicken and just vaulted up into the air. That, I think, is the first time a rotisserie chicken has been mentioned on these broadcasts. Oh, what in the world is going on here? Who's that? Is that the number 39 truck trying to rejoin?
Is that Hagen? Yeah, it's Dan Hagen. Yeah, he's happy to be here. No, it's not Dan Hagen. Wait a minute. It's not Hagen. Who is that? Who are you? Who are you? Ooh, ooh. No, is that Richards? Robert Richards? I can't tell. It's a red truck. I know that much. We just need to get a good camera angle. It's not Richards. It's not him. Who is that? It's that's Tim Hammond. That's Tim Hammond, 69. Yeah, Tim Hammond, 69. Tim Hammond. I think he's going to get the free pass is what he's going to do. He's going to take the wave around whenever they come back around. So.
And I will say, now we got to worry about the restart coming up, because we're going to have less than 15 to go when we get this race back up and rolling. That's going to be pretty nuts. Oh wow. So, is it okay if I can? Do we mention the beef a little bit earlier on? Because
beef? We got beef again?
I have seen some beef and some messages that I cannot.
We got beef.
Say
we got beef. Cue up the graphic.
On the air. We got beef here. It's some drivers that wrecked out of the race a little bit earlier on. I cannot say, but I just noticed. So it being my first ever broadcast here on the DSR electric truck series here on NASRA, I didn't notice this channel until recently. It's the post race fights channel. I'm reading that right now, and
yeah, they're not friends. Yes, I never get involved in any of that stuff. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that's that is I think I've seen very similar discussions go on of people fighting over a flat screen TV on Black Friday. Topical joke there.
I have a 75-inch big screen TV. Yes. I tried to get 98 inches, but it wouldn't fit. I tried. Won't let me do it. It was too big. 75 inches is what I had to settle with. So, and then by the way, I got a 75-inch TV about to be put in my living room also. So, let's go back underway. Green flag. 15 to go. When I'm laying in bed relaxing. He asked me when do I have time. I mean, but probably at nighttime when I'm not working or traveling.
And actually, the more that I think about it, since this broadcast is being done on NASRA and NCRN, I guess this is my second time ever on radio, so you love to see it. You love to see it indeed. 3-wide racing, you love to see that kind of until it ends in tears. These racers have not learned the lesson because they are still duking it out like there's no tomorrow.
We are CRN.com and 87.9 FM. We are 3 wide going across the stripe. Let's watch and see what happens as they'll send it. Meza in it to win it, battling with Ross and Newbert. Boy, the fog's really it's got foggy here, hasn't it? I think muggy.
Yeah, both the general mist and the red mist have descended here at Michigan, which could lead to some drama a little bit later on in more ways than one. Looking at the temperature of the track, it's still looking pretty all right. As that's a driver, big sideways moment heading off through turn number 3 and 4. They're going to be below the apron. They keep it going in a straight line. That was a huge moment from Shane Trotter. He keeps that car going in a straight line with a clean car and probably not clean pants.
And somehow they stay in form. Look at this now. Diebold under attack. Here comes Newton on the inside. He is trying to reel him in. And look at Hogan back in this thing in the green. Number 5. The John Deere green number 5. I'm loving it.
Oh, and here we go. The 3-wide racing not dying down up at the front. In fact, I think as we get closer and closer to the end of this race, these drivers are probably going to turn up the wick of aggression even more, which is saying something because I think most of this race, the track has been the one to bite these drivers the hardest. As look at Raul Mesa, he's really wheeling in that Surf Pro machine. Look at him, side-to-side contact with himself and deep-ball down the backstretch.
By the way, Colton Hogan, the John Deere green number 5, he won Daytona, if people don't remember. I know it's a long time ago, back in August. He picked up the win. Round number 13 tonight here in the StarBase Comics 200. By the way, this was also round number 1 of the race, the Dash for Cash. Also, if you didn't know, a little bracket challenge inside the points of the series before the official playoffs begin. So this is a Dash for Cash race tonight.
So everybody with a bit more of an incentive to run well, which could be part of the reason why everybody has run into the difficulties. That's 3-wide racing right in that battle for the final couple of spots inside the top 10. These racers not giving us a single point to breathe here on this show. I gotta feel bad for our producer, Dean, in the production truck, having to be like a chameleon looking at 16 different things at once.
That's funny. And by the way, don't forget, next week, we're going to Bristol, baby.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
probably not fun for the drivers, but fun for the broadcast team.
Bristol next Monday night.
Whoa, no! Oh,
Contact.
The floor gets turned.
That's Adam Newbert. He's in the grass, bottom of the apron, and it will trigger a caution with under 10 to go. 11th yellow flag of the race. Here we go.
Yeah, I was wondering how aggressive the racers were going to be on this past restart, knowing that we were getting into single digits of laps left. Now that we're firmly in single digits and we're back under yellow, and here's what caused it. It's going to get hectic on this restart. I am sure of it. Oh, that was bizarre. I thought that car may have gotten turned with a bad bump. Maybe it was just the camera angle. It looked like that car just snapped to the left.
Sure did. Wow, here's a look. Watch this again. Adam Newbert, Hogan. Yeah, there's Hogan. Oh, no. That's Jaws. That's the shark. Roger Diebold. Oh, man. Roger Diebold. I don't want to say he meant to do it, but I think he wasn't lifting off the bottom of that spot. He wasn't giving up his position though there, Ron. He wasn't doing it.
I think he wants to hold on to that spot for dear life. And unfortunately, when you do have that sort of stuff going on, it's very easy for it to end in tears. And sadly, that, I believe, is what took place there. It's a shame for those competitors involved in that. Ford truck was running strong, but not going to be a good end to this race, though. Hearing as well in the other YouTube chat.
Hogan and Blanchard, Peacock and Mesa, your top 5 as we are setting in for the final 10 laps, possibly overtime. We're stepping away, taking a break, getting ready for a showdown. Will anybody stop Adam Newton, the Daytona winner? Mr. Colton Hogan is in his sights. We are taking a break. We're back in a moment.
StarBase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. StarBase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Merf's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Merf's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Merf's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We are back at Talladega. My goodness, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm off tonight. We are back at Michigan. Well, thank you for being at Talladega all last week. We are back at Michigan, and it is the round number 1 of the in-season bracket challenge. Hey, by the way, Ron, we will be at Talladega for the final race of the bracket challenge, just so you know. I mean, there it is right there. You see it. Michigan tonight, Bristol, Darlington, Talladega, final race of the regular season and the bracket challenge, and then the playoffs begin.
And you know, I will say, and this is honest, with the amount of drama and chaos that we've seen here in Michigan tonight, it does feel kind of like a Talladega race. Got a lot of racing actions to look forward to. Of course, you'll be able to catch it all here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. But look at that playoff bracket. The playoffs slowly but surely creaking their way into the fold, and a return to Daytona in the process of that. So we got Michigan here, which has proved to be about as hectic as a plate race. We got Talladega coming up for race number 16, the regular season finale, and then running at Daytona for the second race in the first round of playoffs. So a lot of plate racing action to look forward to here for the trucks.
Brandon Broadfoot is asking if you're going to be broadcasting on Brandon. So let's not put too much pressure on Ron, right? He filled in for me he was filling in for me on last Friday, but luckily because of cold weather, they were able to move the game to the football game started ahead of time, so I was able to actually join them in the race. And then he's filling in tonight for Jacob, who normally works on Monday, but he's celebrating a birthday. So everybody wish a big happy birthday to Jacob Reeves, but Ron will be available when I guess he can be available. So we're back underway.
Yeah.
Well, you've already got a lot of other stuff you work with, right? McConey setup and other things, right? You do a lot.
Yeah, the McConey Setup Shop channel to broadcast air races, McConey Entertainment, and I would usually refrain from mentioning this because it is a different broadcast with a different broadcaster, but it's an iRacing show,
all right.
so as such. On Fridays, I also cover the iRacing Radical SR10 series on the iRacing YouTube channel, so usually covering a decent amount of stuff on Fridays, but that's earlier on Fridays. I would love to cover some stuff before my usual Friday action resumes. It's the Radical SR10s, which are just absolutely fantastic stuff. The car's got a bit of a bad rep, but that's neither here nor there. But we got 4 laps left to go here in this race. 4 wide, holy cow.
And look at Raw Meza contact with Larson. Guys, hold it together, please, please, please. There's Cofield on the inside. Kaufman will follow on the bottom. Somehow, they keep it in tow. And Duke in front. Here comes Blanchard now. How about Chris Blanchard? Our buddy out of Clinton, Maine on the inside. Blanchard's towing in recovery. 3 to go at the line. Look at Johnson. He's back up there again.
Oh, they're 4 wide right behind. Keep an eye on that battling a little bit farther behind, because if that ends in disaster, we're going to have another restart. And right as I say that, another yellow.
Caution out again. Oh, boy. And this pretty much just set up the overtime for what's going to happen here. By the way, for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series, there is unlimited attempts at overtime. Oh, 4 wide, man. Look at this, 4 wide, 3 wide up ahead.
Yeah,
that is Newbert in the red 4. That is Suth in the 80. Craig Schroeder in the black 56. And there's the contact. Kaufman up ahead of the yellow truck and Larson up ahead in the 20. I don't know why they called the caution. He called that too early.
Yeah, he caught that very, very early. That I'm not sure if that was. I think that was iRacing calling that yellow. So Yeah, I mean, either way, I think iRacing maybe should have been a little bit hesitant, but yeah, I can also understand iRacing was probably running the permutations and saying, okay, the car's this sideways heading into turn number 1 at Michigan. Are you kidding me? Of course they're going to hit the wall. That's just a guarantee. Kept it going in a straight line, though, but with all the action that we still have left to go here in this race, we'll look ahead to the action coming up here on the NASRA 360 network with the King of Daytona event. That'll be coming up in the early stages of January. The event's rolling from January 4th all the way through to the 10th. The qualifying races
King of Daytona.
The 4th and the 8th. That's
the King of Daytona. Yeah, don't worry. I've said we're back from Talladega all night, so my bad. You know,
at least I didn't say the King of Iowa.
Now the King of Daytona. It was last year called the Great American Sim Race, the NASRA 500, but I guess they've obliged to PGR and said, okay, guys, we'll let you have that title, so we're going to call ourselves the NASRA 500, the King of Daytona, presented by Blanchard's Towing and Recovery. And speaking of Blanchard's, he's up in front, Chris Blanchard. Hey, by the way, don't forget that Dean and Ron will carry you guys the rest of the way. As always, I have another West Coast obligation coming up, and they'll cover their post-race interviews. Don't forget, we're off tomorrow night. We're off Wednesday for the Cup Series. That'll return next Wednesday night. NASRA Cup Series presented by Florida Cabinet Distributors, and the NASRA Cops Truck Series is back in action this Friday night, back in Friday. And then, of course, Jacob will be back with Mr. What's his name? What's the gentleman's name? Jim Cunningham? Yeah, Jim Cunningham and Jacob Reeves for that race. And I will let you know real quickly that the Cops Truck Series next race will again be Friday, and that will be at Dover. We're going to Dover Motor Speedway on December the 5th. So there it is. Don't forget, we got the endurance race. Dean, if you want to throw it up on the screen, what is that, next Tuesday night? Next Tuesday night, we got another one. We've got another race next Tuesday, December the 9th. It's an endurance race. Sorry, let me find the details for it. I keep up with this more than he does. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's it. December 9th. There it is. Next Tuesday, December 9th. It is the Autodromo International Enzo Didino Ferrari. Do you know many Ferrari? Yeah. There you go. Florida Cabinet Distributors Endurance Race 3. You lost me with whatever language you were talking about. I don't know it yet. Are you got a little Italian in you? Do you like kielbasa? Is it?
For sure that's Polish.
Kielbasa sausage. Yeah, I guess that is Polish, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. I have not been to Italy, but I have seen many races and covered many a race at Imola. It was actually the first track I ever produced. Actually, no, second, because the first.
Did I say the name right, or did I butcher it, Ron? I
will say, last time I was doing a broadcast at Imola, I had a producer who's actually Italian, great guy, fantastic dude. However,
he ruined it, didn't he?
No, the region of Italy he's from, kind of the dialect, he was running me through the track guide and trying to make sure that I didn't butcher any of the corner pronunciations. And one of the turns on that track is Piratella, which that's kind of the Americanized pronunciation of it. But the area of Italy that he's from, the
Piratella sounds like language noodles, like lasagna noodles.
Yeah, kind of. It does sound like a type of pasta, but the R kind of rolls and it sounded like an L. So I thought he was saying Pilatella. But anyways, I did not buy him pineapple on his pizza. He'd probably come to Philly and kill me.
Oh my goodness. Let's go back underway. By the way, 2 laps to go. It'll be a green-white checker shootout overtime number 1. Anyhow, that's coming up next Tuesday. And then the Cop Series is back this upcoming Friday night. NASRA Cup next Wednesday. Back straight away. It's Blanchard in the lead. For how long, though? Newton is right on his back door. Here comes Colton Hogan. on the inside. Working off turn 4, right flag in the air as they come to the line here. One to go, presented by Darren's Detail and Shine. Ron, this is it, final time.
Yeah, we're bringing the thunder, and look at that pack of racers. And a reminder, if a yellow comes out now, that's going to end it for this race. So we got to worry who's going to be up at the front at any given point in time. Blanchard leads them as they head their way onto the back straightaway for the final time. But Noon is right there to pass. Look at Peacock and Hogan and Johnson and everybody right into.
Here it comes. Look at this. On the inside, here comes Adam Newton. Blanchard up high. Will he have help? Peacock, they slam into one another. To the stripe, Newton battling inside. Is he there? He is. Adam Newton picks up win number 4 of the year.
Yeah, what a drive for him, too. Spent the race up at the front throughout a vast majority of it. Right place at the right time, walks away with the W. It's a photo finish, though, between himself and Blanchard. Only about a quarter, 3/4 of a tenth, I should say, between those racers. Fantastic stuff at the end. And credit where credit is due to Hogan in that number 5 truck. 29 spots gained from the drop of the green through the fall of the checker. That is insane.
Adam Newton picking up his 4th win of the season. It will be his 22nd career NASRA win. That'll also tag along with 121 top 5s and 256 top 10s for the man that is second on the all-time list of NASRA with his 463rd career start tonight. Adam Newton ready to burn it down, ready to celebrate. He's the winner tonight here at Michigan in the DSR Electric Truck Series StarBase Comics 200. And he dominated. Bottom line. There ain't no other word about it, Ron. He was up there all night long, up in the front, in contention. And when it counts the votes, he survives to win at the end. Here's a look at the results as Adam Newton burns it down from Danville, Virginia. There it is. Adam Newton will pick up the victory, his 4th win this year. By the way, most of anybody in the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series this season. Chris Blanchard, what might have been a man of the number 9 from Maine, will settle for 2nd. Daytona winner Colton Hogan 3rd. Taylor Peacock and Peyton Johnson with a solid top 5. By the way, he was the Stage 2 winner. Newton was the Stage 1 and the overall winner. Roger Diebold, Tyler Goodwin, Ron Meza falling back with another solid top 10 though. Buzzy Mongol, Tyler Dittmer, the way they finish in the top 10 when the checkered flag falls. Tyler Dittmer had some problems earlier. What a way to bounce back as well. Midway through the field finds Adam Newbert, Cole Larson, Jonathan Cofield, Brian Chu, James Kaufman, Joshua Suss, Shane Trotter from Asheboro, Chad Ross, all on the lead lap midway through the field there, Mr. Ron Mons.
And then looking through, we got Craig Schrader finishing this race in P19, Jason Morales in 20th, Brady LaBouffe running into some troubles a little bit earlier on, but he's at last of the cars on the lead lap at 21st. And then looking through the rest of the pack, a lot of these racers running into troubles throughout. Aaron Van Relade finishes this race in 22nd, and Jeffrey Johnson in 23rd, Cody Knott in P24, Timothy Hammond in 25th, Robert Richards in P26, Chris Cinnamon in P27, Dane Hagen finishes this race in 28th with an aerial trip throughout. Luke Smith blew up his motor in an incident midway through this race. He's classed in 29th. Andrew Harris is finishing this race in 30 with Steve Barnett, JD Larson, Shane Scott, Karen LeBou, and then Ryan Dillavue and Matt Cherry completing your 36 drivers that took the start here in this race. So those are your results for the 13th race of this season. What a fantastic one here at Michigan for the StarBase Comics 200 for the DSR Electric Truck Series. What a race. That was fun.
Thank you so much, buddy, for stepping in and filling in for the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves, celebrating a birthday today, my friend, my buddy down in Georgia. Love you like a brother, and I'm glad you're enjoying your night off with the new baby and the wife, and obviously we'll be back together next week. Don't forget that, hey, it's a short week for me. This is my only broadcast obligation for NASRA. We're off tomorrow, no Cup Series Wednesday. Cops Trucks return on Friday. Ron Mons and Dean Hopton carry you guys from post-race interviews the rest of the way. I'm Wesley Outland, Adam Newton, Chris Blanchard, Colton Hogan on the trio podium drivers. We're going to talk to them next. Good night from Michigan. We'll see you next week for Bristol. This has been coverage of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series, and tonight is win 4 for Adam Newton. We'll chat with him next.
Craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime is Florida Cabinet Distributors. With over 20 years in business and 39 years of woodmaking experience, they proudly serve Northeast Florida to Southeast Georgia, delivering custom woodwork that combines precision, beauty, and durability. Whether you're dreaming of a custom kitchen, bathroom vanity, fireplace and mantel, entertainment center, outdoor kitchen, or even a full library, we can build it at Florida Cabinet Distributors, exactly the way that you envision. Hey, no project is too big or too small. If it's made of wood, Florida Cabinet Distributors can make it. Call or text Steve today. Yes, they gave us his personal cell number, 904-874-3442. That's 904-874-3442 to book today. Florida Cabinet Distributors, craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome into post-race coverage here for the DSR Electric Truck Series on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Adam Noon, our race winner here after over 200 miles of racing here at Michigan. He's joining us now in the booth. Adam, welcome in. It's your 4th win this season and a triumph at what proved to be a very tough cookie to crack here at Michigan.
Yeah, it was a really fun race. It was really loose, but I had fun racing Chris and Colton. Colton is on our Chrome team, and good night for everybody.
Yeah, it looked like a super fun night behind the wheel, maybe a little bit nerve-wracking. I want to ask you about the trouble just trying to get that truck around the track here at Michigan.
It was really loose if you didn't hit your corner just right in 1 and 2, but I mean, overall, I made a little bit of adjustment with my brake bias and a little bit of my driving style, and knew that if I padded the gas a little bit, but still trying to be wide open, that the truck would be good. But that last round was to push Chris out there, get us some clean air, and let us battle it out. And I was going to race him clean for the win, and it ended up being a good run.
Yeah, it ended up being another win for you, your 4th thus far this season, carrying a lot of momentum as we head off into the next round of the championship. Race 14 of the season at Bristol in a 1 week's time. What are your thoughts heading there?
I love Bristol. There's a good stretch of tracks for me. This was one that I was really surprised how I ran tonight, but I had a lot of good momentum this season, and it's just this is my best season I've ever had in NASRA, so hopefully can keep it going.
Yeah, keeping the momentum rolling. Some good victories on a wide variety of tracks, and gotta try and keep the momentum rolling at Bristol. But Adam, before we let you go and celebrate this win, we'll let you give any thank yous or shout outs.
Yeah, thank you to my swim crew. Adam Newbert was in with us again tonight. It's been a long time. Chew, we're missing Joey, and we're missing Lumpkin tonight, and Thomas. And Colton had a great finish. He's on the Chrome team. And I got to thank Blanchard's for sponsoring, Florida Cabinet Distributors, Josh Suss and his dad, and Dan at DSR Electric, Millie's Restaurant and Catering, A's Lawn and Landscaping, the Family Handyman, Lumpkin, and Josh Suss for all the paints. Jack Spoon and more, Darren Nail Gun Repair, Brady, guys in NASRA, 360, Dean, Wesley, Redneck, happy birthday to Redneck tonight, LPP Race Cars, Lee Pulliam had a phenomenal run this weekend, wish he could have got the dub, and Mama June's Catering, and this another win for Mike. it's been a good season.
Yeah, it's been an awesome season for you, and I'm sure you want to try and keep it rolling as we get now into the second half in just a couple of weeks' time.
Got to give a shout out to Keith the Camel. Always got to remember the Campbell.
There you go, man. Well, hey, Adam, thank you for joining us in the booth. Well done on the victory, and looking forward to seeing you out there at Bristol next time out.
Yep. Thank you, man.
And that right there was your race winner, Adam Noon, joining us here in the booth. And we also have Chris Blanchard up here in the broadcast booth. Want to have a chat with the driver of the number 9 P2 at the end of this race. Chris, welcome in. It's second for you at the end of this race. 17 spots gained with 6 laps led on the day. Want to ask you about how your race was here at Michigan.
It was pretty quick until I got put into the wall 3 wide by J.D. Larson and got almost 2.5 minutes of optional damage. And the truck it took the rest of the race to get the truck to feel better and get the damage fixed. But once I got that all fixed and got fresh tires on it, it was a quick hot rod again.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, it looked like it got very physical at many points in time throughout this race. So how was it just trying to stay in the right frame of mind to stay focused on that very end of the race, even with all the chaos and craziness going on throughout?
Oh, it was pretty intense. I was lucky to have Colton in my ear and my Discord channel, and Peacock was there too. They're teammates of mine, and I know Adam Newton, how he races. So the guys up front were pretty solid, and I knew if I gave them a little bit of room, pushed them a little bit, and respected them, they'd do the same thing to me. The only one I was worried about was the 15 of Peyton Johnson. He's pretty much a weapon sometimes, so I'm glad he was back behind us and didn't force the issue.
Well, you walk away from this race with a second place run here today at Michigan. Want to ask you, though, about the next round of the championship when we head to the high banks of Bristol.
That's a pretty good track for me. I'm pretty good at Bristol. That track there, you just got to mind your P's and Q's, stay out of the squirrel section, and be there at the end. So I'll have a pretty good chance there too if we don't get any damage. And then Darlington, I'm pretty good at too. I won there last season, and hopefully the next half of the season is good for me, and maybe I'll get a win and make it into the playoffs.
Well, if you show the same pace that you showed here, making up 17 spots from the drop of the green and finishing in second, I think that win may be coming up in the next few weeks. But Chris, thank you for joining us here in the booth. And as always, we'll let you give any thanks or shout outs.
Thank you to you guys for putting on the broadcast, Brady and Cody. I don't get up this way much. I mean, get interviewed much, so I don't know who the sponsors are, but I'll just say whoever Adam mentioned, thank you for helping this league out and keeping it going.
Well, thank you as well for joining us here in the booth. Well done on the P2, man, and looking forward to seeing you out there at Bristol next time out.
Thank you.
And that right there was Chris Blanchard, your P2 finisher here tonight. So we also have Colton Hogan here in the booth, our P3 finisher in that number 5 car. Now, if it was impressive for Blanchard to make up 17 spots, this is even more of a shocking number. 29 spots gained for you throughout this race, Colton. How about you talk us through your race at Michigan? Because that had to have been nuts.
Yeah, man, thanks. Just kind of missed the mark on qualifying. You know, everybody's fast here when we've got fresh tires, so that kind of adds to the game. I mean, we get some tire wear in there, you know, things start to happen, and yeah, just at the back and fought through it. Had to go to pit lane a couple times, fix some minor damage, but just tried staying in it to be there at the end, and that was a really fun second half of the race, racing up front with all those guys, and yeah, it was just a grind, and here we are.
Yeah, I can imagine it was a very tough race, just trying to stay with it throughout. Michigan proved to be a bit of a silent killer, and I want to ask you why you think that may have been the case. The racing looked so frenetic, everybody packed in like sardines throughout, and the track conditions were rather cold. Would you say there's any one reason why the racing was as chaotic and hectic here today, or do you think it was just a lot of stuff kind of creating the race that we saw today?
No, man, I actually thought about that a lot. I think when everyone's got good, clean, fresh tires here, everybody's fast. Your racing surface is so wide that, you know, everybody can put their own spin on a line around this place, and you just get so many different lines, entries, exits, I mean, you can get huge runs. So I think a lot of guys just it seems like we get tight. Everybody starts to get tight, panic, and just the chips start to fall. But I think yeah, I don't know. We just guys gotta just remember there's a break every now and then. Break once might save your truck. I mean, back out of some situations, or just gotta pick and choose, and also knowing who you're racing around. Hell, the top 5 we had there at the end of the race, and I mean, all of us guys knew that we were just gonna put it on the floor and give each other space, but if we needed to, use each other, and we did, and it was all good. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I don't know. I would say there's multiple angles, but when everyone's got fresh tires, they're fast here, and just pack racing. Sometimes things happen.
I gotta say, for my first time covering the DSR Truck Series here on NASRA, it was a joy to be a part of this. Y'all provided the thunder and the entertainment out there on the racetrack. Bristol, though, next time, Matt, that's always a little bit hectic. That's a bull ring of a racetrack. So, what are your thoughts heading there in 1 week's time?
Just stay clean. I really enjoy Bristol. I don't think in this league I've ever actually finished a race at that track. I think my first year, but I just last few years kind of stepped on my own toes and just staying clean. Last year I smoked a pit entrance on a green flag pit. Just little things, just stupid mistakes like that. So just staying clean, minding P's and Q's, and just really focus on unloading there. As you're coming out of the corner, getting more straighter wheeled, laying into the gas, just kind of getting in a rhythm. So it'll be fun. I'm having a good season and enjoying these Monday nights. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you what you can do there at Bristol next time at Colton. But before we let you go and celebrate this podium, we'll let you give any thank yous or shout outs before we let you go.
Yeah, man, first and foremost, everybody there at the NASRA crew, you guys, announcers, Brady, TJ, everyone that keeps this thing involved and rolling. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, you guys, Hogan Farms, Hogan Enterprises, and, just everybody at Up Front, Chrome Racing, and, yeah, we'll keep the ball rolling, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you as well for joining us here in the broadcast booth, man. Well done on the P3, and well done also being the hard charger. But looking forward to seeing you out there on the racetrack at Bristol next time out.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well. That right there was our P3 finisher of Colton Hogan. Now taking a look at how things have been looking here as of recent in this season. There you can see at the top of the poll, Adam Noon won at Martinsville. He won again here at Michigan. We'll have to see what he can do next time out when the series rocks up to Bristol on the 12th of, not the 12th, that is the 8th of December here in 2025, gang. And it's getting to the end of the calendar year. Always love to see what sort of action these drivers can put on as we get to the end of the playoffs as well. One final look through the results that you can see on screen right now. But to all of you tuning into this broadcast, we hope you have enjoyed our coverage here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And if you have, happen to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on any of the racing action. And congratulations once again go out to your winner, Adam Noon. And our thanks as always go out to the sponsors here of this series, along with StarBase Comics for sponsoring this, the StarBase Comics 200 here at Michigan for race number 13 of this DSR Electric Truck Series season. But as for this broadcast here tonight for the 13th race of this championship and the first one of the in-season bracket, that will just about do it. So for myself, Ron Mons, it was Wesley joining me in the commentary booth a little bit earlier on in this broadcast, and Dean Hopton doing an amazing job working on the cameras and the graphics and the virtual production hauler. I say thank you all so very much for tuning into the action here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network here tonight, and we hope to see you all wherever it is in the not too distant future.